morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice for radio. So today, we're going to be having a little bit of a look at a new Quagsire card. I don't know what you're thinking. Hang on a second, Wassy. Don't we have a really good Quagsire at the moment? Haven't we all been playing with Quagsire for a little while now? Well, I mean, the answer is yes. But come on, new Quagsire. Now, there's no translation for this card. I didn't need a translation. And it's not because I'm particularly clever. It's because there's no text. It's just got vanilla attacks. But there's something really good about Quagsire. Now, it's a fighting type. We like fighting type. It means you can use Brooklyn Hill to search out the Wooper, assuming the Wooper is a fighting type. But it doesn't really matter, ladies and gentlemen. But because Brooklyn Hill searches out water or fighting, so you can get them regardless. But fighting means you can use Diancie Prism Star to do a little bit of extra damage. Fighting means you're hitting weakness on Zoroark, which is probably one of the best Pokemon in the entire format right now. I don't know why I said probably like it might not be. It's definitely one of the best Pokemon in the format. It's rather nice. Now 120 HP does mean you will be one-hit KO'd back by Zoroark, and also something like Buzzwole will get a one-hit KO if you've got 4 prizes remaining. But generally speaking, fighting is a good type to be. Grass weakness is honestly fine, because anything that may KO you, like Delmise or Tapu Bulu, well, they're going to one-hit KO you anyway, so don't worry your pretty little head about it. And as for the retreat cost of 2, I'm going to be honest with you, it kind of sucks. But what's amazing about Quagsire, it is a fighting Pokemon that attacks for water energy. And we've seen this before. Stunfisk is the one that really comes to mind for me here. We have had Stunfisk in the past that follow this same kind of pattern. So we had the Stunfisk from Shining Legends, which was a fighting Pokemon that attacked for lightning energy. And we like this, because what this essentially means is you get an extra typing. It's quite difficult to just chuck a fighting Pokemon into a deck. If you want to just play Buzzwole, brilliant, you can, as long as you're willing to play fighting energy, or maybe some rainbow energy, or if you're willing to wait till you're behind on prizes, maybe counter energy. But it's a little bit awkward, and sometimes we want to tech in these Pokemon that can hit for common weaknesses. Well, now we can. At least if you want a fighting Pokemon in a water deck, because ladies and gentlemen, we've got Quagsire. It is quite simply a phenomenal card, because you can now have a fighting type attacker in a water deck without having to make any other arrangements. It's a water deck, you're playing water energy, you're fine. Now I should mention that you cannot actually use Aqua Patch here, because Aqua Patch can only be attached to one of your benched water Pokemon, the energy with Aqua Patch, but you could always just play a water Wooper and then evolve it after Aqua Patch. But none of this is particularly important or particularly relevant, because we've got Naganadel and Quagsire. And Naganadel and Quagsire is a truly phenomenal combination. Now, I did do a video a little while ago where we saw this winning in Japan with Suicune. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. And we actually mentioned this just a moment ago when we were talking about the new Kyurem card, which, yes, I may or may not have referred to as White Kyurem. Shh. We talked about it with the new Kyurem card. And it's a phenomenal combination. What you do is you attach energy from the discard pile to Naganadel using its ability, and then you've got Quagsire's ability, which lets you move any energy you like, from any water energy, from your bench Pokemon to your active. And the great thing about Quagsire is, the one from Dragon Majesty, it's not like you have to move it from a water Pokemon or to a water Pokemon or anything like that. The only thing that Quagsire cares about is that it is water energy. As long as it's water energy, Quagsire's like, oh sweet, cool, you go for it, man. And that's what's so awesome about Quagsire. And that's what you do here. Because remember, if you're playing Naganadel Quagsire, you must be playing Wooper. So one of the things that you could say about this is, well, I don't know, it's a stage 1. Popping a stage 1 in randomly seems kind of awkward, except it's not kind of awkward. You're already playing the Quagsire Evolution line, so that means you can just add a 1-card tech this Quagsire. And then you've got a fighting type attacker. And if you really only want to play one of these, you're probably playing Rescue Stretcher anyway. So it's not like this is a difficult card to get rolling. You're already playing the Quagsire line, you play Quagsire Naganadel, and it hits for fighting weakness. And this is where we need to circle back to Zoroark. Because you see, Zoroark is a great Pokemon with a fighting weakness, and it's got 210 HP. So let's say you are playing Suicune. If you're playing Suicune GX, you're not getting a one-hit KO on this. Sorry, because Suicune, you add free energy on there, and you're hitting 120. Now, the good news is, Suicune's quite hard to KO, and then all you need to do is use Ace Roller or Max Potion, because you can get the energy back using Naganadel and Quagsire, and then you're absolutely fine. It's a deck that doesn't one-hit KO, but doesn't get one-hit KO'd. Well, if you're playing that deck, you whack one of these new Quagsire in, and now you are one-hit KOing, and fine, you're probably one-hit KOing back, but you're trading a single prize, one-card tech for a 2-prize GX, which is one of your opponent's main attackers, that's probably going to have one of their 4 double colorless for the game attached to it. That sounds A-okay by me. And at this stage, I need to mention that Tag Team GXs are looking great. Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX is already winning over in Japan. Eevee and Snorlax Tag Team GX isn't winning yet, but still looks incredibly good. And of course, we looked the other day, I'll pop a link to this video in the description, at Greninja and Zoroark Tag Team GX. What do they all have in common? They are all weak to fighting Pokemon. Now, what we're looking to do here is basically 280 damage. That would then get all of them. So we need to do 140 before we start including the weakness. And Quagsire here, it's not far off. So Quagsire for free water energy, which is not that expensive given that we've got Naganadel and Quagsire, other Quagsire, does 120. That'll get Zoroark, that'll get Pikachu and Zekrom. It won't get Greninja and Zoroark, and it won't get Eevee and Snorlax, but if you use either a Diancie Prism Star or a Choice Band, you then will get a one-hit KO. And these are going to be relevant Pokemon. Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX is confirmed as good, and that's before we start talking about the Raichu we mentioned yesterday. Seriously, Raichu looks nuts good. I'll pop a link to that in the description as well. And you got these other two that could, well, be very good. Zoroark and Greninja and Zoroark to be correct, does look phenomenal as well. And you've got a counter to all of them, plus Zoroark. This is really, really good. It doesn't matter that it's a stage 1, because you're playing Quagsire line anyway. It doesn't matter that it's free energy, because you've got Naganadel Quagsire, and it hits the numbers. If this did 100 damage, then it wouldn't get Zoroark without some kind of extra multiplier. If it did 100, you could add a Choice Band, but you still wouldn't be getting up to Eevee and Snorlax, and I'd be saying, you know what, the numbers don't quite work. But the numbers do work here, absolutely beautifully. And while we're here, look at the adorable artwork. Just chilling in the river, there's a boat, and he's like, oh, hey, people on the boat, I'm just sitting here rubbing my belly. What's going on? Now, as for the first attack, 1 water energy, 20 damage. It's not the reason you play it. It alone is not great. This isn't, I'm not set up. Oh no, I would really like to be able to do something now. I don't have a good attacker. I know I'll just hit for 20 damage. 50 with a Choice Band, 100 with weakness. It's fine. You get a bit of damage on the board, but 20 for 1 energy on a stage 1 is neither impressive nor exciting. But it doesn't matter. I'm giving this 4 Wassies because any reason I would have to doubt this is taken away. I would be saying, it's a stage 1, but this fits beautifully into Quagsire decks that people are playing anyway. I would be saying, free coloured energy is a bit expensive, but Naganadel Quagsire Aqua Patch. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? This fits rather beautifully, and I love it. But I want to know if you love it, so might I suggest popping something down in the comment section? Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/RappelmannTCG. patreon.com/PTCGRadio. If you want to support this channel, get some bonus podcasts, tell me to make videos, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you go and check out youtube.com/WassiePlays. We hit 3,000 subs today. Yay! But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.